Hey Kaiju fans, I'm Titano, and today I'm going to show y'all how I make Kaiju PNGs. I'm going to commentate with some updates as well, but first I'll describe what's happening on screen. And I'll just do that whenever that's necessary. Right now I'm showing off where this image we're going to be using is from. We're doing Anguirus, 1968 Anguirus. Going to be doing a render of him. This image is taken from the pictorial book of Godzilla 2. Images I use for PNGs are taken from anywhere, usually Wikizilla's galleries, or they're saved on my hard drive, or they've been scanned from a book in my collection. So now I'm going to be showing other images I have saved on this gigantic 2GB Photoshop file. I use a small Wacom tablet to cut out these PNGs, and you can find a handful of the PNGs over at the Wikizilla DeviantArt account. I upload pretty not regularly PNGs with the Wikizilla renders logo on the side of the image, just for recognition, for branding. You can just download those there for free and enjoy them. Right now I'd like to go ahead and say I'm not very good at having a conversational type flow, just speaking for by myself. So I'll try. I'll try not to stutter and go like ooh and whatever. But yeah, it's a little bit inevitable. I've got a few talking points here on the side, and I'll try to hit most of them as I keep showing just on screen. So black and white images, you're seeing some of those right here. I'll colorize those, which is something I'm going to do for this Anguirus PNG we're going to render on camera right now. But we'll get to that when that's happening on screen. So this is how I've been making these PNGs for over a year now. I used to take pictures of the books, of the pages on the books, and make the PNGs from there, but I got a scanner and now I just scan the pages from the books, which is obviously infinitely better. So the first thing I want to bring up is collaborations. Yes, Monster Island Buddies is going to narrate a Kaiju profile, so you please stop spamming the comments with that. Yes, he's gonna do it. Don't worry. A lot of other people will also be collaborating with us, contributing narrations, and all of us at Team Wikizilla are very thankful that Wikizilla is getting this recognition where pretty big fandom people want to work with us. We're all very happy about that. Thanks to everyone who's supported the channel, of course, and we've really grown. And of course, the website, wikizilla.org, has really grown as well from when it started back in 2016. I'll get more into what I want to talk about the website later on, but right now we're going to go back and talk about what's happening on screen. I'm starting to cut out the image. I use layer masks to essentially cut out the image. Layer masks are typically used for this so they don't destroy the source image. You can go back and erase the mask so that part can show up again. And that's basic graphic design protocol. And now this footage here is sped up 4 times. It's 4 times its original speed. So yeah, this is a very time-consuming process, especially with images that are as complex as Anguirus's spikes, the spikes on his shell. Those are pretty tedious to cut out, and it's a black and white image, so it makes it harder to see as well. And anyways, yes, Anguirus is the next Kaiju profile. We're going to be covering all of the Anguiruses because that's what makes most sense. Anguirus, the Final Wars Anguirus, doesn't have enough content to be its own video, so we're just making all the Anguirus's. There's 3 of them in the Godzilla movies. Some people don't know this, but the 1955 Anguirus is in fact separate from the other Anguirus in the Showa series, who's Godzilla's friend. And this is actually brought up in multiple books, and with the second generation Anguirus even getting the subtitle of Godzilla's companion in some books. So yeah, that's for those who didn't know. But we have a lot of kaiju profiles and kaiju facts in the works. They're all on a bit of a backlog because it takes a lot of effort to make kaiju profiles, I personally always massively underestimate how long it's gonna take to do everything that's needed for a kaiju profile. And that includes, creating renders for all the kaiju, getting the footage all sorted out, of course, voiceover, laying out the audio, creating the on-screen graphics, doing all the video effects, because Wikizilla's videos are a little bit more complex than just your average run-of-the-mill YouTube where you just put footage over on the screen and you commentate over it. Wikizilla videos are very much meant to be a visual experience. You're supposed to take them in and what's going on screen, and at least for most of the segments, you can probably tune out during the history section if you already know what happens in there, but the rest of it is meant to illustrate exactly what's going on, and this was the original intent of the kaiju profiles. They were meant to be video versions of the Wikizilla articles, and that segues into something else I wanted to talk about: the quality of kaiju profiles. In the past, kaiju profiles were just meant to be video versions of the articles, so we didn't do any upfront research for them. We just took what's on the page and converted it into kaiju profile, and you can very much see this with some of the older kaiju profiles, which are gonna get remade because they're pretty terrible by the standards of the recent videos. So you can look forward to that. Varan. The Varan one has been unlisted for months, even a year now. It's been unlisted for a super long time because it's just really, really terrible. And so, yeah, so our standards have gone up rather exponentially, and we want to go back and remake a bunch of the old videos, and you can see some of those have been tagged with old in their titles. So if you see old in their titles, they're definitely gonna get remade. Shin Godzilla Kaiju Profile, King Ghidorah Showa one might get remade, because we need to bring up the stuff about the second generation King Ghidorah, which, well, a lot of books don't actually mention that, and it's pretty contentious, and we have to address it at some point, somewhere, but it's not right now. Aside from that, the Godzilla timeline needs to be revised. The Kiryu Kaiju profile is gonna get remade too, because that one got false takedown by a random person, not even Toho. The Destoroyah one got took down by Toho because of the alternate ending, so we had to go ahead and re-edit that and re-upload it. And it got re-uploaded because it was, at the edge when we started sinking much more effort into the kaiju profiles. It's right about there, so it's acceptable. The Kiryu one is not going to get re-uploaded because, well, first of all, we don't know what part of the video caused it to be taken down, but also because it was pretty not good quality by standards right now. And after that, we still have a lot of stuff we want to do in the future. The Mutos, the Skull Crawlers. Of course, the anime Project Mechagodzilla timeline, part 2 of the anime timeline. We're currently working on that right now. And after that, we still have we have Orga, we have Dagara in the back burner. Of course, the Heisei Gamera is something we've wanted to do for a long time now, and it just keeps getting pushed back a little bit. So it's always a little bit away, but we definitely want to get Heisei Gamera done. We need to start uploading Gamera stuff here, because Gamera is a big part of Wikizilla, and shamefully he hasn't received any sort of content on the Wikizilla YouTube channel. Kong has, though, and Kong has been a surprisingly popular part of the Wikizilla channel. You might expect that Kong wouldn't do very well for the content on YouTube, but this V-Rex Kaiju profile is maybe randomly one of the most viewed Kaiju profiles, or rather Kyoryu profile retroactively, because Meat Eater was a Kyoryu profile because a lot of people were complaining that V-Rex wasn't a Kaiju. Anyways, back to Wikizilla's history. Wikizilla started out on Wikia, wikia.com. We became independent from Wikia in 2016, and we're now at wikizilla.org. We've definitely improved, and if you just take a look using the web archive and even on wikizilla.org, we've made so much progress in the last 2 years. Just everyone at the staff has been really working hard to make Wikizilla the best it's ever been, and now it's respected enough to have fandom higher-ups be interested in narrating Kaiju profiles, and it's really an honor, and it's good that Wikizilla has received this reputation. So on screen right now, I turned on the stroke effect to make little dead pixels that I didn't quite erase the first time around visible, so I can just go in and erase them all, and, just to make it a smooth little render without any little irregularities of floating pixels outside. And after this, I'm going to go in and add level adjustments to make it just adjust the levels, adjust the brightness and contrast of the image, basically. Make it brighter, make it more discernible. Also, I changed the background color from green to black to make little leftovers, or edge pixels more visible, so that I can go in and erase those too. Just checking the background here to see that I didn't accidentally erase Anger's spikes or anything. Change the background color back to green, and now I'm adding a Hue and Saturation Adjustment layer to colorize the image, and this way I can just go in and make it color image, because it was a black and white image. But right now I press the pipe key to make the mask visible, so I see what I'm blocking out. So as you can see, the color mask is not applied to the eye because it was gray instead of this desaturated yellow type color. And I'm gonna go in and make a separate color layer for the horns later on, and the teeth, and then the mouth. And I'm also using the smudge tool right now to smooth out the colors as well. So it's with the regular eraser, it would be pretty sharp or clear cut, but I'm going to use the smudge tool to sort of smooth out the colors. Now, while that gets done, I'd like to talk about the making of Kaiju profiles Wikizilla videos more. Sometimes errors flow through. Of course, with the recent Rodan one we accidentally said that the Rodans attacked Tokyo instead of Fukuoka, which is where they attack in the climax of the film. So yeah, that just slipped through, no one noticed it, and it's interesting how that happens. You think, oh, you should notice, but because I edit the videos and work with the audio, just getting it, laying it out and stuff, but I didn't notice, and it's just something that any video editor will tell you, that they just can't notice stuff that is right in front of their faces sometimes, and that's an unfortunate aspect of how human brains work. But we apologize for that, and we put a lot of work into obtaining all this information, and it's great to share it with the fandom, with everyone. The Godzilla fandom is pretty illiterate, unfortunately, so that's kind of what Wikizilla is there to bring everyone up to our level, and it's a pretty rewarding part of maintaining the website, when people go there to learn. And that's why informational sites like Wikizilla and the Wikizilla videos are necessary. Sometimes we do get, little r/I am very smart type people who are very blatantly incorrect, and they just refuse to admit that they're wrong because, they have ginormous inflated egos. They come up with ridiculous excuses or non-points, like saying, oh, that might be what the movie says, but that's just a crappy English dub, or it's just a crappy English translation, and you show them the subtitles, or tell them to watch the movie with the English subtitles, and they refuse, or they come up with stupid ideas like, oh, it's the idea of Godzilla that appeared in the year 1954, and then they respond and say, you're getting flustered because people aren't bowing down to your ego, and then they block you, and it's like, you blocked Wikizilla on their own comment section because you think you're right. That doesn't even make any sense. That's just the annoying part of YouTube comments. Most comments are pretty relatively mundane, or sometimes they bring up interesting points. Sometimes they just ask to make a kaiju profile. YouTube comments, of course. But anyway, errors sometimes flow through. Sometimes you have to deal with people like that. It's just part of being on the internet. Back on topic of Wikizilla, we've improved a lot. We research looking at official Japanese language materials. No one on the staff is fluent in Japanese, but some of us are at it. Some of us are trying to get good at Nihongo. It's ultimately not as hard as it would seem, just getting information from Japanese. If you have the books right there, transcribing the text. If it has furigana, it's easier to transcribe. There's online resources where you can look up kanji, jisho.org, Wiktionary. There's a lot of places where that'll help out in obtaining information in Japanese. Alright, on screen, we're pretty much almost finished with creating the mask and making everything look good. Right now, doing the teeth so that the teeth are yellow. And right now I'm gonna crop the image so it's only showing Anguirus. And we're wrapping up here now. If you'd like to, listen, have more of these kind of videos done in the future, probably without commentary, because this commentary was just a bunch of incoherent rambling, not very structured, and I'm not very good at talking to the mic alone. But in any case, these videos can still be uploaded either with on-screen text or just music. That's about it. Be sure to stay tuned for more Wikizilla kaiju profiles, kaiju facts, anime Mechagodzilla timeline soon. Not next. Anger is next. And just check out wikizilla.org for your information needs. Go to Wikizilla's DeviantArt account if you want to grab some PNGs that I've uploaded there. That's all. Thanks for watching. Well, if you're still here, how about those images of the oxygen destroyer on the set of Godzilla King of the Monsters? Think there might be something up with that?